All right, guys, listen. Let's have a conversation. You see the thumbnail, you see the title. Let's talk about it. No intro today. Why? Just woke up. Had this video sent to me on my Instagram at Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. I took a quick look at it. I was disturbed. Got up out my bed, got in front of the camera so I can have a conversation. I might go back to sleep after this. Okay. Saweetie. I believe that's how you say it. I'm getting old now. I don't know anymore. I'm not cool no more. I'm aging wonderfully though. Okay. How to bag an 8-figure man. I saw about half of it. And we got to go in there. We got to get active. We have to be able to talk about this.
Rich man, 8 figures, that's my type. Ain't that right, ladies? Because I know that's right. Hello, students. Welcome to my first session on how to bag not a 6, not a 7, but an 8-figure man.
Oh, large. You got fucking money. He got money.
If he's not a boss, I don't want him. And if y'all are like me, these next steps will change your life.
All right, just real quick. So for those that do not know, she has a song called 8-Figure Ninja. And I guess like this is some promotional material that she released onto her YouTube page in order to continue to help promote that song. You know, as we all know, there's this thing of, you know, he's got to be a boss in order to get respect from me and blah, 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 like all of that stuff. So essentially, so she's releasing like a quirky little video in order to tell you how to actually do it. But first off the bat, when we talk about this concept of 8-figure, I think a lot of people get confused of what does 8-figure actually mean? Like, yeah, 8-figure means $10 million, but I think a lot of people don't understand that you could be an 8-figure person from a gross income perspective, meaning what you make in a calendar year. It's net income after taxes. Or you can be an 8-figure person based off of the accumulation or the amount of assets that you currently have, meaning your total wealth. Doesn't mean that you make 8 figures in a calendar year. It just means that you have 8 figures worth of assets around you, that you're worth 8 figures. So with that being said, just want to slide some numbers by you guys. How many 8-figure income earning, gross earning in one calendar year people do you think exist in the United States? Well, I did 1 second worth of Google searching for you, just so you didn't have to. Shout out to Dan Butcher, who lives in New England. Okay. According to Social Security Administration, just under 3,000 people received $10 million or more in compensation in 2016. Looks like he posted this in 2018. I could look for the newest numbers, but I just don't feel like it. I'm sure it's not changed much in the last 3 years. What does this mean? Well, there's 3,000 people in that time period that earned an income of 8 figures. There are 330-ish million people in the United States in total. So what's the math on that? And for folks that do not know, your Google search bar can also alternate as a calculator. Anyway, 3,000, okay? Divided by 330 million. 0.00009. All right. That's 0.0001%. Oh, at the end of the day, here's the initial point that I'm trying to bring home to you guys is that we talk about and we celebrate, right? These things that come out of our media that tell us how we should think, what we should do without actually quantifying what it will take to actually get there or the likelihood of you being involved and actually getting there. This number actually looks very similar to something else that's pushed in our media of folks that look like us should be doing from a male's perspective. It looks very similar to the percentage of me getting in a national league. I mean, it looks very similar. So I just wanted to make this abundantly clear before we continue on in the video how preposterous this is. All right. But let's move on.
Alright, so I know y'all been asking me because I stated in my type, tap in on how to bag an 8-figure man. But let's start with step 1. Ladies, it all begins with the law of attraction.
The law of attraction is what you think and how you carry yourself is what you attract. If you act and feel like a boss, you will attract a boss.
Let me stop this right here. Law of attraction got a lot of y'all messed up. Okay? Law of attraction. What you think and how you carry yourself is what you attract. There's a degree of this that I do believe in, right? If you act of class, classy people will see you and want to interact with you. Okay? I understand that. However, it's not in all cases, right? Because then what happens in this very next sentence? If you act and you feel like a boss, you will attract a boss. No, that's not, no. There's a couple of things. A boss wants to know, wants to understand the work that you put in to get where you're at. A true boss, someone who doesn't get thrown off by snake oil and shiny things, is going to be able to read you like a book. But you got to put in the work in order to get there. I mean, take this outside of relationships and take this into working, right? Let's say that I am a boss of an organization. I am the CEO and I'm looking for someone underneath me who will report up into me to help me run my enterprise. Just because you act some way, if I'm smart anyway, just because you act some way doesn't mean that you actually put in the work to get in the things that you say that you do. Like your resume is resume on one side of the coin, but like what are the actions and how can you prove it? What work are you putting in to be deserving of that position? But they don't want to, excuse me, but they don't want to talk about that here on these type of videos. Why? Because then that puts more accountability on the viewer and more work on the viewer. All this does is this breeds entitlement. Let's move on.
Value yourself as much as an 8-figure man values himself.
Let me pause right there. Listen, at the end of the day, what I think that we lose out on in this participation trophy culture that we have in right now is that some people do things better than you. Listen, you are value if you do 6 figures a year for whatever occupation or things that you bring to this earth, but you are not as valued, you are not as valuable as someone who brings in 8 figures a year. It's a simple math equation. You are not as much value to earth for someone who can command, who brings in 8 figures a year. What up, folks? I'm actually in the editing process right now. I lost some footage. Here's what I was going to say. Now, imagine that you are this 8-figure dude, okay? And you have spent an incredible amount of time increasing your value and all of the work that went into creating an amazing product or service to allow this degree of value within the world. And imagine that you are looking for a significant other and that you see someone who treats themselves as valuable as you have created for yourself. This again goes back to this thought of entitlement. You have to understand that there's levels to this ish. Now, I'm not telling you to be at a submissive whim to a person just because they make an unfathomable amount of money, but you can't just act like acting as if you are as valuable as someone who does that. And right, like, and your decisions should be understood and prioritized as much as their decisions. It just life doesn't happen that way, okay? And the idea of prioritizing based off of decision, I'm not talking about where we're going to eat tonight. I'm talking about where I should be prioritizing my time, where I should be spending my time, because there's levels to this ish. Now, as a dude that commands that much value, am I going to deprioritize the things that I have going on because you act and feel like a boss and you act and feel like that I should? That's where we're coming up to a problem. So this can feel good for someone to say, yeah, treat yourself, what does it say? Value yourself as much as an 8-figure man values himself. But again, there's levels to this ish, okay? You may have to deprioritize for a boss, right? To help him meet whatever the 8 figures is and help him get to 9, perhaps, perchance, if you plan on being a part of the business and not just being some viscosity for a high-powered man. But I digress. Let's go back to the video.
All right, y'all. I'm pretty sure your mama, your auntie, some woman in your family has told you about this. The secret sauce is confidence, or as I like to call it, pretty bitch energy. First of all, you are not arm candy, bro. You are soul food. Know the difference, because if you do, it'll change your life. And whether if you got $1 million or $1,000 in the bank, it all depends on your aura and the strut of that walk. If you walking like a queen, he gonna have to step to you like you are one.
All right, so it comes down to the walk. The pretty biatch energy, it comes down to your walk. Is that what you're saying? You just have to have the energy of the walk? Okay.
I know that's right. All right, so I'm pretty sure you've seen this on Twitter, on Instagram, here, there.
Yes, I have.
People are always asking, what do you bring to the table? So let's think about that.
Don't do it. Please don't do it.
Girl, you on the table. Remember, girl, you are the prize. Do not fall victim to financial restraints, and always make sure you have your own bankroll to fall back on, okay? You're going to have to come in a little closer for this last part, because it's really important. In order to bag an 8-figure man or a rich man...
Let me also comment on this real quick. This is something I just picked up right now. Her audience for this is obviously women, right? It's not dudes that's watching this. But look at the way she's dressed. I mean, listen, do your thing. However it is that you get the audience, however, you know what I'm saying? You have a predominantly lady audience, and it is so much that's coming up out of here that I see that's just inflicting enough. Obviously, this is not grown women that this is being marketed to, so it's just like, damn. Having all these surface level thoughts of what it is to attract a dude of status, like bump the 8 figures. Let's say bump 8, bump 7, bump 6, just like a man of that's to be valued and respected. And, you know, these are the surface level things that you are teaching and, you know, showing, you know, as parents out there, you know, you have to be very cognizant of the energy that's being communicated to the young impressionable minds out there that can't understand and break down these arguments like to, let's say, like a degree of what I'm doing for you guys right here. But, you know, it has to be called out as well. I mean, even look at the thing in the background. I mean, this picture right here, this is obviously not for adults, right? This is obviously not for, what does it say? Hyphy, independent, problematic, and hustler. All right. Just keep going.
You need to be in rich places. You are not going to find him at Jack in the Crack or in no drive-thru.
You know why I'm here.
A rich 8-figure, that's my type. So make sure you go into your closet and get you a cute little fit and head over to Nobu, honey. All right, ladies.
All right, that's all I'm going to play of that. Yeah, that was actually a good, the last one was actually a good one. Yeah, location does matter. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you shop in Walmart, most of the time, you might want to go to Target from time to time. All right, you might find them in there. That's been my reaction. That's been my review. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Hit me up. I'm tired. I'm going to go back to sleep. Go back and take a nap. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.